the reality is that in order to make that money, you have to be long that power. So you have to make an economic commitment to buy power from a counterparty, and that is not free.
In Texas, there's been a lot of shade thrown that consumers are not able to take advantage of um, demand response and other ancillary services in the same way that large industrial loads are able to. And I have gone on the record, and you have gone on the record at saying we would be supportive of consumers being able to do that. It's more of a challenge for ERCOT to aggregate all those small meters and all. It presents a significant logistical hurdle, but I want to make sure that the audience knows that the Bitcoin mining industry is not opposed to consumers being, paid for their curtailment. Now, I do think that one day we will have enough smart technology in our homes, enough smart thermostats, and because really in Texas this is AC units, right? I mean, if we could aggregate AC units and use those as demand response, I mean, that would shave off some massive volatility in power demand.
Yeah, and the heating units in the winter. Texas homes are insulated poorly because it doesn't get cold there, and that's a huge contributor to wintertime volatility. So it's
Greg or Doug Llewellyn would be glad that we were talking about this. He's always talking about this. Is it Doug? What's his last name?
Yeah, it's Doug Lewin.
Doug Lewin, excuse me. Yeah, Doug Lewin is talking about that, the insulation issue. Okay, so what do you think? It would take a statutory change, to my knowledge, for consumers to be able to do that. Why do you think Bitcoin miners are so readily, because that would take money out of miners' pockets. Less volatility equals less revenue. But why do you think that as an industry we are willing to support that?
Well, we should start by clarifying one of the most frustrating misunderstandings of the Bitcoin critical media, where whenever a miner comes out and reports, hey, we made all this money from demand response or curtailment, the reality is that in order to make that money, you have to be long that power. So you have to make an economic commitment to buy power from a counterparty, and that is not free.
Significant collateral, millions of dollars of collateral.
Millions of dollars of collateral and millions of dollars of financial risk, where if you look at the distribution of hourly interval prices in ERCOT, it ranges from negative $30 a megawatt hour up to, as we know, $5,000 a megawatt hour. And when you have a power hedge and that interval liquidates below your power hedge, you are paying up for that power during that hour. And so when there's a lot of wind, like this coming week, especially in the evenings, we have a ton of wind in the evening. So all of those Bitcoin mining companies who had power hedges through the summer and continue to have hedges for the remainder of the year, they'll actually be realizing a higher electricity price than
the spot market.
Than the spot market, than the rest of the residential consumers. And so you have to take risk, and you have to post a lot of credit in order to be able to do that and get paid to do it. Now you can just respond to prices if you're a sophisticated electricity market participant, which is what Cormant does, but we don't get paid.
Right.
We are just a real-time market consumer, and so we're just avoiding high prices when we curtail. And if you think about it, like anybody in Texas could do demand response. They could just hook up their circuit breakers in their garage to an API that's ingesting ERCOT's price feed in real time, and they could have their breakers in their house just automatically flip open when the price of power spikes above the cost that they want to pay, and that should translate through to their electricity bills. And so,
but only if they had a wholesale contract.
Well,
if they're on a retail, they're on a retail,
they'd
contract.
be avoiding high prices. If they have a meter in their home, it depends on how the utility bills them. But if they had a meter in their home and they had a real-time market contract with a utility, which I don't know if you can do that in Texas, but if you were able to do that, then theoretically your meter would show that you did not have any electricity consumption in your home during a high price interval, and you should not be charged for that period of time. If you have your own substation, that is definitely the case, because that's our entire business model. Is we don't open breakers. We programmatically power down as much of the infrastructure on our site as possible whenever prices go high. Our normal load is about 35 megawatts, and we can bring it down to 700 kilowatts in a matter of seconds. So it's really designed to power down, and ERCOT's not paying us for demand response. We're just responding to the price signals that are a function of the market structure that they've set up.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Amy. Click over here to subscribe, click over here for more content, and we'll see you next time.